the way I look at things is if you do something and you love it so much, eventually someone will pay you to start doing it. So believing in oneself is probably the key to everything. You know what I mean? Like, you're always gonna have your doubters, and your doubters are always gonna be people that pretty much started somewhere where you started, almost at the same level, and they just don't understand how you made it and they didn't. And it's nobody's fault but theirs. You know, they're always worried about like, what can someone do for them. You okay, bro? That's why you should stop smoking those things.
Man. All right?
You want some water?
Wasn't that? Wasn't the cigar?
The worst
part
part
it's the emotion. You're getting emotional.
Listen, the worst part about the choking is when you're trying not to choke.
Yeah.
Right? Which makes you choke. You good?
And then when there's no water, too. What's up, everybody? We're here, episode 8, RWTW TV.
P8.
We made it, man.
8.
7's in the books.
7 more than I thought we'd have.
As you can see, we are not in New York. We are not in Cleveland. We are not in California. We are in Miami.
Yes.
Still with the world famous
Yes.
Derick G. DG, what's good, brother?
Yo, when you say world famous, it really is world
famous, man. This
Known by
guy is
athletes,
world
models.
famous. I mean, and I'm happy to say we know him, you know, when he was on the come up, man. He's still on the come up. I mean, he's still hungry. He's still on the come up.
We're trying to figure it out. So, yo, DG, where are we? Where are we right now in your city? Talk to us about where we're at.
We're in Wynwood right now, world famous Wynwood. It's the art district now. I mean, this shit used to be the fucking hood, and you know.
Hood, like what kind of hood? Like
the Puerto Rican
crackhead hood?
Nah. It was just like it's just, you know, its own hood. You know, the people from the people that are from here would stay here, and it's just one of those things. If you're not from this area, you don't need to be here. But
I respect that.
And you actually had a studio. Was it
on 24th? We're actually passing
24th.
26 right now. I had a studio on 24th for about 3 years. Been out of there for about a year ago. And, you know, just it's crazy to see this place really turn into what it is.
When people think Miami, they think South Beach.
Yeah.
Right? They think Collins Ave, they think Wet Willie's, they think, you know, you being from here, you know, what's the main difference between like Wynwood and South Beach as we know it?
I mean, South Beach is definitely a part of Miami, but it's not Miami. You know, to locals as myself, I'm born and raised here from Hispanic parents. You know, happen to be first or second generation of the new citizens of Miami.
Dope.
And South Beach is an element of Miami, but for any real local, you know, they really don't fuck with South Beach like that, you know.
So is it like what Times Square is to me?
Pretty much. It's the equivalent
You're
of...
avoiding the traffic, you're avoiding all the
I
bullshit. I haven't been to Times Square in 5 years.
You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have to be there, you don't go. I mean, unfortunately,
I think I've driven through it once in the last 4 years.
By accident.
And I felt uncomfortable.
You know, Miami's just really, it's not as busy as New York in the sense of so many things to do. So, you know, a lot of people do end up going on the beach at night and whatnot just for, that's where the nightlife is, that's where the girls are, that's where the tourists is. You know what I mean? So it's just, you kind of have to deal with it, but, you know, maybe on a Friday, Saturday. Most locals are out there on Sundays. Like Sunday afternoon is like the beach day.
Okay.
You go enjoy the sand, you enjoy,
What's the local, everybody's like 3rd Street, 4th, something like that. Like what's the
That's what
local
you're trying to be. You're
beach?
trying to be with the locals.
The locals actually pop off between 7th and 8th. Like if you
7th
go
and 8th.
there, that's where like you find like Miami. Like,
Okay.
like
That's
people
where I
even-
need to be.
Where I
with
be
the
at.
locals, man.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
locals.
So D, talk me. We're you know, as we know, we're in your city. What's a typical? Talk about a typical 24 hours with Derick G. Is there one? There is no such
thing as a typical. You know, there's nothing routine about my life, my work life. You know, the stuff I do with my team and the people I work with on the weekly. Every day is different, which I love because I'm not a creature of habit and I'm not a creature of routine. So the fact that I can kind of just do my thing, the fact that I can just kind of do my thing. Now we're gonna go this way. The fact that I can kind of just do whatever I want to do when I want to do it is amazing. You know, I've been able to get amazing clients that allow me to have, you know, the flexible schedules that I have. It's a lot of work when they do put me to work, but you know, there's a lot of downtime. And when we have the downtime, you know, it's fun. But I can go anywhere. Like for example, in one day, I think I had to do something with LeBron and Beats at 6:30 in the morning. Then we wrapped there. Then I went to go shoot a mixtape cover for a local artist with, you know, some girls and stuff on the beach. Then I left there and I went to shoot. I went to West Palm for Beats to shoot Serena Williams.
West Palm, I flew into West Palm.
We're not gonna get into how you got to Miami last night. We're not gonna do that.
Commitment.
I had to go to West Palm, which is an hour away, to shoot.
How far?
It's about an hour away.
An hour, yeah.
Serena Williams 4 Beats, and then had to be back down in Miami for LeBron at like 5.
And this is all like a 24-hour period.
This
right?
is this is an 8-hour period.
Jesus.
This is from 6:30 till about 5:30 when I was back with LeBron again for the rest of the afternoon.
So DG, a typical day all over the board. Some days you're doing nothing. Some days you're 7 locations in 8 hours. I mean, what would you say also is the, you know, you do a lot of amazing work with some of your, I would say kind of corporate partners and clients, but you also do a ton of your own work. What would you say the balance is between the different kinds of work you do? Like how is it, you know, over the course of the year, how does it kind of usually shake out?
I mean, I can never really predict how things are gonna work.
Your old spot, right?
This is my old house right here.
Right here.
This is where we did the wall, the LeBron?
We did the wall right here.
LeBron MVP wall. Oh.
So yeah, this wall right here, we did
Watch yourself.
Paulie! I'll be back. Thank you, bro. I'll be back in a second.
That's amazing. BY.
So I think we kind of got to stop here. We got to talk about this. Like,
so this is
your
warehouse.
old studio, right?
Yeah, me and a buddy of mine rented it out, and we're here for 3 years. It was 2009 to like 2013. No, that don't add up. Yeah, 2010 to 2013.
It was a dope spot. It was like studio, some chill space, did some barbecues and stuff. And this wall, actually, we got some photos of it. We worked with you on the LeBron MVP stuff. So we were down here doing a ton of stuff.
So actually, Jonah actually painted that. So we
Yeah.
did this whole wall.
Shout out to
And Jonah's
Randy.
actually the artist that did this wall on this side.
dope.
So
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of his style. He's a real Miami known dude. Born and raised in Miami as well. So I was glad that he got involved with that. So you know, but now we actually took it over for Basel. So under that big sign, there's something that says IAE Illuminati, but as obviously, you know, they're trying to sell it or lease it or whatever they're doing, and
That's messed up. They put it right over your shit, man.
but it is what it is. I mean,
Go see somebody. Who is that? Aaron?
go holler at him.
fuck it. I mean, we
Go
still got this
let's-
one. This is my shit
let's
right here
talk
too.
to him.
Yeah. So I teamed
that's
up with
ill.
Metro Raps again and Nicole Mejia, which she's
yeah.
the whole Get Fit and Thick. You know, she has her whole Fit and Thick thing going on, and you know, she kind of just
Fit and thick?
yeah, she has like her whole thing. She's actually in New York a lot doing her classes, and she got her shit going, man. She's South Florida native as well. I believe she's Colombian and Italian, so you can imagine that already.
The Italians
It's not a
were
bad way
really.
to make a living,
Yeah.
DG.
So, you know, we teamed up and we did this, which was pretty cool, and you know, it did great for Basel.
That's dope.
Unfortunately, some idiot wrote on it, but it is.
Yeah, let me ask about that. Let me ask about, you know, obviously being in Wynwood and you see amazing work, amazing artwork, you know, how often does that happen? How often do people tag and how's that viewed like in the community?
I mean, of course, like the actual artists hate it. The guys who own the properties that, you know, commissioned the art or collaborated with the artists, you know, they're bothered by it, but it literally comes with the territory. It was one thing that I was very anti when I first moved in here, and I hate graffiti. You know, it's I love murals and I love art, but I can't stand graffiti.
Watch yourself.
So it's just something you have to like adapt to. Like if you live in the hood, you might hear gunshots, and it's
right.
just, if you don't want to, you know, if you don't want to hear gunshots, move out of the hood.
Is there a little bit of policing? Do people kind of police themselves? Like, do you know who's tagging at times? Like, is that like,
I mean, we definitely.
how real does that shit become? Like,
We definitely.
Like, when was that last time you knew somebody tagged somebody's shit and got fucked up?
or at least got approached?
Well, I mean, there's you know, there's justice and there's street justice. So you know,
Okay.
justice, if you get caught, call the police.
Yeah, I'm not
whatnot.
talking about that. I'm talking about.
I mean, when the guys get caught up, they get caught up. You can imagine, because you know, some of these guys are very passionate about it. It's like like an athlete at a sport, you know?
Yep.
You jab somebody the wrong way during a game, and they don't care about, you know, being ethical. They're just like, oh, fuck you.
So now how does it work? Like old school New York, those dudes used to do it themselves. Like, you got a muscle man if you're an artist. You got a, like, depends.
Crew.
I plead the fifth.
Derick said I would not know how it works. I've never
I do not know
partaken in any of that stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, well, I mean, you know, something that above and beyond, I mean, you're definitely one of the hardest working people that I know, that we know. We work together a lot. Something we talk about on the show a lot that we, you know, live and die by is the hustle. It's the drive. It's the hunger to kind of get where you want to go, and that relentless pursuit of it. I think you obviously are kind of, you know, embody that. Talk to us a little bit about how you got on. You know, I know you didn't come from a traditional kind of art film background. What was that moment where you decided this is what you wanted to do? And how'd you go about it?
What's crazy, I still haven't decided this is what I want to do. I just kind of do it because it kind of happens. You know, I have amazing friends that I consider, you know, partners and that I work with. And, you know, the guys behind these cameras,
Yep.
Eventually I'll see them one day.
Yep.
Maybe I'll turn the camera on, I don't know. But
What's up, fellas?
they are very passionate and they are very hardworking as well. So, you know, they definitely, without them, you know, we wouldn't be shooting none of this shit. We would have not shot episode 7, you know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
we thank them, except for the sound guy, he's getting paid.
So, I mean, what was that moment where you weren't doing what you're doing now and you decided you wanted to go after it? Like, what was that? Were you watching a video? Did you see somebody's work? Like, what was that aha moment where you decided I'm gonna go after this?
I mean, I'm a strong believer in making long money, not fast money. So because of that, watch your step.
What's your step?
Jover's a very hard worker.
Listen, man.
He's walking backwards.
Hazard
for
to
like
the
30
job,
blocks.
man. Hazard to the job.
So, you know, I'm definitely a person that believes in passion over paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, passion doesn't pay my bills, so I need paychecks. But being able to do what I love and get paid for it is amazing. Once again, this is nothing I never went to school for. This is nothing I wanted to do. I never would have thought or put in my resume or whatever that, you know, I want to be.
Portfolio.
Yeah, I wanted to be a photographer and work with celebrities and all. I'm not really a starstruck person, so I can honestly, you know, I don't really care. But look, Jules is there again. She's stalking us.
Can't get away from her.
So
Is she really with you?
stick right there. So,
Audio's gonna get it.
huh?
Audio.
Okay. So it was just one of those things, like I said earlier, like I still haven't decided this is what I'm gonna do. It's I kind of do it because.
Yeah, but what was that moment like when you hadn't picked up a camera really yet? You hadn't done anything that
I
was
got
like
you.
portfolio, you know, worthy work. What was that moment where you decided I'm doing this? I'm gonna go after it. Like, and from like, and just to, you know, on my end, it was the first time coming out of college where I interviewed for a job and got the denied letter. That sorry, Mr. Leonard, you know,
Yeah.
we're
We
moving
don't have
in
a role
yeah,
that
we're moving in
matches
another
with your
direction.
skill
Thank
set.
you.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was my, you know, for me, the failure aspect was what drove me. I knew what I wanted to do. I could do better than the people that I was trying to get a job with. I really believe that. And from that moment forward, my commitment was on, you know, reverse engineering that and figuring out how to do what those people do better than they do it.
On my end, I'm a big car guy. I love cars. I love.
Old schools.
I like vehicles.
Cars.
Period. It can be
There we
everywhere. From
Got you.
I don't. If it has a motor, I'm into it. That's how I really started, like getting in on it with everybody. You know, I was a big car guy, and we started getting hit up. To do music videos and whatnot, like provide the cars for the music videos.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, me and a bunch of my friends have a bunch of nice cars at the time. We were really young. Things started like when I was 17. And we would get on every single video set, pretty much. Joe, watch your back. And that's kind of how it set off. And then I've always had a passion for
So the
photography.
cars what got you around the work.
Yeah, they got me around like on set and whatnot. And then, like I said, photography is always a passion. I used to always take my mom's camera, my godmother's camera, and just take pictures of everything I could. It was to the point where if we would go to something, this is before digital, obviously, my friends wouldn't bring a camera. They would just give me money for doubles, and I would just
assume you were going to bring the camera.
Yeah, and then they'd just give me money, and I'd go to Eckerd's at the time and develop, and get quadruples or, of the prints.
Yep.
So, whatever. So, eventually I started meeting people because I started getting on every set, and I became the go-to guy in Miami for the cars, for production. And I ended up meeting a few directors, and I really linked with Gil Green, which is a big Miami director, big video director, period. If you guys look him up, you'll see.
So now, if somebody's not familiar with Gil, what's some of his kind of more
We
notable?
Taking Over, Lollipop, Lupe Fiasco, Bitch Bad, Joe Roger Beck. Man, so many. I mean, all like the crazy Akon shit.
But it was your work, the photography with the cars, that kind of got you into the
sets, yeah.
The sets, right.
Actually, with the Gil situation, it necessarily wasn't that. It was kind of part of the element. Watch it back over. It wasn't part of the element. It was more so, I was working at a barbershop at the time, and I was doing deliveries for like the guy that owned the barbershop. He had a business next door, and I was doing a delivery on the beach because the barbershop was slow. And I'm not a barber. I was just pretty much maintaining it.
It's a hustle.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a culture-based shop. So I was driving to the beach. I seen a bunch of production trucks. I got nosy. I got off, and it turns out they were shooting We Taking Over.
Oh, wow.
So when they were shooting that, I kind of started looking around, and I seen, Bun B was there, T.I., Khaled, Akon, and that video was like cameoed out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a huge video.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch. It was a big video for Miami, and there's a big video for that Khaled movement because that's when everything really popped off with like
Listen, man.
Ross and
Absolutely.
Fast forward, not to cut you off really quick. Cali killed the game with the basketball one on the barge, under the bridges, like that.
Well, Gil directed that.
Did he?
That Gil directed
I was
that.
like,
About They Don't Love You No More. Gil directed
Drop
that.
the mic.
That was Gil's concept.
changed the game with that
So
one, man.
Gil, I'm lucky enough to say Gil's one of my mentors and one of my really good friends, and I look up to him like a big brother. And he's a Miami native as well.
Mm-hmm.
Studied up in NYU, film, and then he came back down here and brought his craft down here. So long story short, that's how I got on set. I started taking pictures I bought myself a camera, started taking pictures of all the cars on set with the celebrities and whatnot and all the production stuff. And maybe that's why I love all the behind the scenes stuff, and that's why I like seeing the cameras and the shots, because it just feels real. It doesn't feel set up,
Yep.
Mind you, we were walking, we were telling him to be careful.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that's a good one though. Talk about your style. Like, what's your style? What's Derick G's style? If I'm seeing something, is there a Derick G style?
In layman's terms, it's candid.
Okay.
Candid, very journalistic, and most of the guys that I work with are all in kind of the same realm. A lot of them are a little bit more perfectionist than I am, which kind of gets a little annoying on my end because I just want to get the shot. But they're passionate about it, and they stand their ground, and when they feel it needs to be that, they'll stand their ground and be like, yo, it needs to be this way, and if that's the case, then do it. But candid, very journalistic is what I would call it.
You just touched on, we were having a conversation before we started filming, and you were talking about how you put more importance or priority on getting the shot.
Yeah.
Right? It may not be the perfect shot, but getting the shot and not missing that moment.
The whole thing with me and that is now, because everything is instant gratification, I would say it's more important to get the actual picture than to make the picture perfect, because once the picture's perfect, if you didn't get the picture, who gives a shit?
Right.
So, but if you got it, and even though it's not perfect, you still captured it. I mean, how many amazing shots, touching on hip hop, because that's what we were talking about.
Watch yourself.
Biggie and Tupac and all this stuff that they got where they're out of focus and blurry and whatnot, but it still
iconic.
looks iconic.
Yeah.
People are putting it on T-shirts. You
real.
still see it, yeah. And that's what I love about it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of where the basis goes. And I feel like a lot of my bigger clients like the fact that I can, it's instant. Like they can have it on the internet right away. They can just post it and they capture the moment. It's not about getting, that picture of Jimmy IV and Puffy when Jimmy got his thing for the Revolt TV thing. Like, I shot that with a point and shoot, and that photo went completely viral. And everyone's over there with these huge cameras, gotta run to computers and get on the internet and start editing and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, to your credit, we work together a lot. I mean, your ability to be small, quick, agile, and also to just be fly on the wall, right? We do a lot of work with people where, as much as you're an accomplished artist and you do amazing work, I think one of your greatest attributes too is like, you would never know you're there. You know, we do a ton of stuff where it's like, yo, who do we need to shoot? Yo, it's Derick, because we need, you know, we know he's gonna get the shot, we know he's gonna be there, and he's not gonna disrupt the, you know, the moment or the dynamic of whoever's in that room or around. So, which sounds easy, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people can't do that.
You know what it is, that it goes back to, once again, capturing a moment versus creating a moment. People are so worried about making sure they get the right shot, and because they're so worried about getting the right shot, they miss the right shot. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't get that, and they don't understand that concept of, you know, being in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things I hate about photography and the whole world, even now with the whole cell phone thing, is people are so concerned about taking the picture to prove or show off with their friends that they don't embrace the moment with their own eyes.
Yeah, well, you see a concert now, and there's 52 cameras up there.
Yeah,
you know, 5,000
enjoy the
cameras.
show.
And no one's embracing it.
Right.
No one's looking at it. So, like, one of my biggest, but like, I went to Paris in 2013 with the Cash Money guys, and we went to the Louvre, and I got to go see the Mona Lisa for the first time. I had to check my camera about 4 or 5 times to make sure I saw it, because I don't remember seeing it with my eyes. I remember taking a picture of it, but I don't remember embracing it with my own eyes. And I started like noticing that. So I started taking to, like, when I'm not working, I just literally like enjoy the moment for what it is. I might take 1 or 2 pictures just because, you know, it's my habit.
Yep.
But, you know, it's one of those things where, like, people need to stop. Like, who gives a shit? You can't show it to your friends. You know, like, fucking enjoy it.
Right.
Enjoy it for what it is. You know what I mean?
No doubt. You mentioned Cash Money, which I know was playing a big role in kind of your development or kind of getting in the industry, whatnot. You have an amazing story about how you really got on, and you didn't really know you were working, but it was the birthday, I believe. Can you talk about that story when you went and shot late at night?
Well, I met Birdman on set of Money to Blow, which Gil Green directed. Shout out, Gil.
Connections, yep.
And I was hired by Universal to shoot behind the scenes stills. So, because I was there shooting behind the scenes stills for the label. There was a shot in the video where you see Bird and his daughter throwing money at the camera. And Bird saw me taking the picture, he pulled me to the side, like, yo, let me see that picture of me and my daughter. Boom, boom, boom.
At this point, are you thinking it's beef, it's a problem, you took the picture, or?
Nah, because he came real cool. He came real cool.
Okay.
The beef situation, I'll tell you that in a little bit. But it came real cool. So whatever, I exchanged numbers with them and whatnot. They called me in. He bought a couple prints for his house. It was real cool. It was a real cool experience, because that's additionally what I wanted. Being in published and stuff like that is cool. But, you know, the reason behind the signature, and just to get off, the reason behind the signature, which is my logo, is like, photography is my art. So like, a painter would paint his, you know, sign his paintings, I sign my pictures.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I never went with like something photography or whatever photography. It was just literally Derick G. Like, that's me, that's just who I am. Like, that you're looking at what I saw through my eyes.
Gotcha.
So back to that. So I get hit up like a month later from one of his guys. Hey, come by the studio when you take some pictures, whatever. I get to the studio, watch your curb. I get to the studio.
And that's kind of your brief, right? It's like, which way we going? Going this way? All right, thank you. That's kind of your brief, like, just get to the studio, we need you to shoot some stuff. You don't know what you're shooting,
I don't know what I'm shooting, and this is the
how
first
long
time
you're gonna be there.
Yeah, and this is the first time they're calling me versus the other time I was just on set and I met them.
Gotcha.
The first time they called me, so I'm actually at an event. I call a buddy of mine, said, do me a favor, bring me all your gear, because I couldn't have access to my gear at the time. He brought me all his gear. I show up to the studio with all this camera shit.
And what time is it? It's like,
I was told to be there at 11 p.m.
Okay.
So I'm sitting around for about 45 minutes. Then Wayne walks in, Mac Main walks in, you know, Bird and his whole camp are there. I don't know nobody there. I just know who the celebs are, and I'm getting hard rocked by these dudes.
Okay, who's the dude with the camera?
Yeah, who's this dude, you know what I mean? So, whatever, long story short, clock strikes 12, Mac Main gets up, gives Wayne a hug, and, you know, it's like, yo, happy birthday. It was September 26th, Wayne's birthday, September 27th.
Okay.
So, it's like, one of the guys goes to me, hey, cameraman, you should start shooting now. So I take out my camera, I start taking pictures, I start doing, you know, this is when the DSLRs first came out, this is back in 2009. The DSLRs, you know, are just coming out, you know, it's, we can turn back this way.
Post up here for a minute?
Oh, we can post up right here. So let's not block that doorway because I don't think I have business going on.
You struggling walking, fam?
Nah,
You tired, bro?
I'm good.
Do the step.
I'm about to go work out with
Yeah,
Matt.
you can pull up right there. Look, you got a stoop right there for you.
You say you're about to go work out?
Yeah. Couple rounds.
So long story short, I start taking pictures, start doing video. They don't know that my camera does video. So, you know, that was the day that Wayne got, you know, his $1 million Chapar watch. They had a cake with diamonds. Like it went kind of crazy, you know.
Did you?
Over. I'm good. Justin, I know you want to go. Nah. Good. So long story short, I upload everything. I show Wayne the pictures. I show Bird the pictures. Bird goes, "Hey, you do video too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, in fact, I just did video, you guys." When I said that, his face turned. He got real serious. He goes, "What do you mean you did video of us?" It's like, I just shot
So at the
video.
time, he thinks you're just shooting.
Yeah, he has no idea. Because a lot of people don't know these cameras did video back
both.
then. You know, hence one of the ways I was able to get so much cool video footage. I used to sneak in, oh, it's not a video camera, it's a camera.
Right.
You know, I used to get a bunch of stuff like that. But I showed him every single clip. It was about 20 minutes of footage. He watched the whole thing start to finish. He looked at me and goes, "You're a sneaky motherfucker. You got a passport?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "We're going to Europe and, you know, we're going to Europe for 10 days next week. Like, what would you charge to go with us?" Before I open my mouth, he's like, "Just think about it. I'll call you tomorrow." And, you know, that was...
At this point, you're not
was it.
thinking like, you don't even know how much to
I didn't know how to charge. I'm
right?
calling like all my friends, and like I'm calling people that, you know, say, "Yo, what do I charge for this and whatnot?" And
Right.
you know, we worked out our deal, and you know, and from then on, I was with them for about 5 years. You know, unfortunately, they're going through what they're going through right now, and you know, I've been working with Wayne lately, so I mean, I still have a relationship there. You know, it's still cordial. Everyone, you know, everyone. I don't know what's going on that side of the fence, but amongst me and them, it's cool. So. But luckily enough, I've been able to branch out and, you know, work with guys like LeBron and build relationships with major corporate brands like Beats, Nike, and Jordan. You know, a lot of them, they helped it out. They made it happen.
No, I think, and just chime in, you know, I think one of the themes you guys watching this will hear is, you know, relationships, right? It's like relationships and trust and you know, the most valuable thing you can have, the talent, whether it's an athlete, a rapper, a musician, whatever the case may be, is trust, right? You know, you've been able to carve out, and we had this conversation before the cameras rolled, you've been able to carve out a lane for yourself, A, because you're amazing at what you do, B, your work ethic, and you're always dependable, and then C, and maybe just as important as those other two, is talent trusts you, right?
Yeah, and which is, I mean, unbelievably important, you know what I mean?
But it sounds like a simple thing, like,
nah, I mean, but
like,
you'd be amazed that, you know, a lot of people can't be thrown into a situation like that, and again, stay in your lane, be cool, and at the same time make yourself an asset. Like we talk about it all the time, like whatever you're doing at this moment, that's not good enough. What else are you, how are you progressing? How, like you said, you were hired to do stills, you shot video. That led to, you know, arguably one of your biggest opportunities because you just took the initiative to do it.
Yeah.
And I think above and beyond that too, the other thing that's just, you know, a thread throughout your whole story is, you know, and we talked about it on a previous episode, is you want to do something, you got to immerse yourself in that, like from just bottom up, and you do that, and if you believe in yourself, you believe in your talent, in what you bring to the table as a person to whatever team that is, if you immerse yourself in it, that's how you're going to start creating opportunities for yourself.
I mean, you said one of the most important things I tell people all the time is believe in yourself, because eventually, the way I look at things is if you do something and you love it so much, eventually someone will pay you to start doing it. So believing in oneself is probably the key to everything. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to have your doubters, and your doubters are always going to be people that pretty much started somewhere where you started, almost at the same level, and they just don't understand how you made it and they did it. And it's nobody's fault but theirs. You know, they're always worried about like, what can someone do for them. You okay, bro? That's why you should stop smoking those things.
Yo, man. All right?
You want some water?
Wasn't that? Wasn't the cigar?
The worst
Oh,
part
it's the
about,
emotion.
the
You're
worst-
getting emotional.
Listen, the worst part about the choking is when you're trying not to choke,
Yeah.
right? Which makes you choke. You good?
And then when there's no water too.
So,
Again, man.
so yeah, going back to that, man, it's just really, really important to really believe in yourself and really stand for that. Like I said, one of the biggest problems is people sitting around waiting for someone to give them an opportunity to do something for
And
them.
if you don't think that you're better than everybody else and you can't and that you can't be the best, I argue that you shouldn't be doing it. Like, you know, I have, you know, we talk about it was years ago where we were in certain circles and I was like, people that are super accomplished, the best in the business, and we came down the elevator at the hotel at the time. I was like, There's nothing special about any of these people. Like,
It was an epiphany moment, though. Like,
yeah, it was
for
like
you,
like
for us, it was just like, and it wasn't hate.
with a
it
little,
wasn't
no,
anything,
it wasn't, and
like,
it was just with a little bit of effort and energy. I can do that better than him.
Speaking
You
of
know, and
epiphany,
that's if you don't have that mentality.
or at least at a minimum, I'm not out of my league. I belong here.
Yeah,
I belong in this
yeah,
room.
yeah.
You know,
well,
so
you guys are exactly where I want to get to now. Recent history, Cardozo's, the restaurant in New York.
Yep.
The LeBron dinner. I show up. It's
Carbone.
Carbone.
Yep.
Carbone. I keep calling it Cardozo. I don't know why. Carbone. You know, we get there. I'm there before. I'm there. It's literally just you, Team LeBron, Vic, and a couple other scattered people. There may be like 7 to 9 people.
So,
I walk in.
But what he's not saying is it's LeBron James, it's Victor Cruz of the Giants, who was just on an episode. It's the owner of Carbone, who owns 7 restaurants in New York City. It's Maverick Carter. It's these are like heavy hitters, at this table. Like literally, it's a very heavy dinner. Like it's basically like them, me, and like the cooks and waiters, basically. So, just to get a little bit of context of who was actually in the room.
Yeah. So I walk in. LeBron always shows love, hypes me up. Oh, world famous Derick G. Well, and he likes to fuck with me in a good way. You know what I mean? And then Vig actually pulls my chair out. He's like, "Yo, have a seat." Boom, boom, boom. And it just felt very welcoming. And I understand that they respect what I do. But then it was kind of a discomforting moment when I have to tell Vic, "Thank you, but no thank you," because I'm here to work.
Yep.
When I feel like I should be sitting at this table. When I'm sitting there and I start, shooting and whatnot, doing my job, and I kind of start seeing all these other tastemakers and people walk into the room, and I'm just like, wait a minute, like, I do more than half of this shit.
Yeah.
Half of the shit that people do in this room, and it's just one of those things where it's like.
Yeah, but that's a good.
But let me try. I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to get to is that a matter of me being on better? I should be sitting here. I shouldn't be working. Boom, boom, boom. It's just a matter of graduation.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I could have brought one of my guys in with me, have him execute the shoot. I could have sat there, build relationships, grow on my relationships with Vic, Mav, Braun, you guys, and whatnot, and just kind of like you saying that you walked in, you did what you had to do, and you took off because you had to work.
I was working.
We were all working.
For 5 minutes.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a reason why they respect me, because like easily anybody could be like, oh, for sure, sit down, and have the meal with them and just forget about
working.
working.
Your pops says something. What your pops is saying
my
all the time.
My pops he owned a industrial floor cleaning company. They used to do like wax floors or whatnot. And I was home one year from school, and I was like, "Yo, pops, man, I need a job, man." Like, he's like, "I can't hire you," and I was like, "You own the fucking company. What you mean you can't hire me?" He goes, "I don't want to work, and I know you're not gonna want to work. So if I hire you, who's gonna do the work?" He's like, "I'll just give you some money, like how much money you need, But it's that. It's like someone's got to do the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think, but I think honestly, DG, like, it's a testament to you of I've always said the greatest compliment any talent, whether that's athletes, actors, whatever it is, any talent can pay you is they don't even realize you're there.
Yep.
Right? That's the utmost. They're not watching what they're saying. They're not watching what they're doing. They're not like, they're good with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you've earned that, though. You've come in and you know the difference of when it's time to chill, when it's time to dap, when it's time to, I'll be in the corner, when it's time, and you've earned that where it works for you twofold, where one, it gets you in the room, where most people can't even be in, and two, you have that lead where they say, "Hey, Brian, I need this. Can you stop there and do this and whatever?" Yeah, DG, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it turn where, even someone like you at the beginning, you'd never even ask for a picture. I don't know how long we went without you asking LeBron to take a picture with him, whatnot. And now I've seen it with LeBron's like, "DG, come on, let's take this picture." You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that to me is the utmost sign of respect that these guys can pay you. It's again, it starts with your work. It starts with your commitment and your hard work.
Your work's what speaks for itself, and again, your ability to allow that process to just naturally happen is not an easy thing. Not everybody has it, which
For people that are out there, and are either fans of yours or fans of the culture or want to get involved and may not know the best route, for the kid that's in Wisconsin, for the kid that's in Nebraska,
wherever he is,
what advice can you impart?
I mean, people are so wrapped up and worrying about what the major cities are doing, and we even forget that there's other countries in this world that are doing things bigger than the United States, and there's so many lanes, you know what I mean? And it's just people are so worried about showing off and stunting and getting on Instagram and posting, "Oh, I'm doing stuff. Look, I'm being productive. I'm being this. I'm being that. Oh, look, I know so and so. I've worked with this person." And at the same time, it's more so the right people know. You know what I mean? The right people know who's doing what. The right people know who the hard workers are and whatnot. And it's just how you stand. Like you said, like some people get hired to do something as basic as like go shoot something, but they don't know like the ethics of or the logic of like, yo, you shouldn't post that. Yo, you shouldn't be eavesdropping on that. Yo, you should know to walk away. You should know to turn off the camera. And this is little shit where it's like, if you were in that person's shoes, would you want someone to capture that? Would you want somebody like, it's like anything else. Like females with taking selfies. You know what I mean? In selfies we trust. A girl asks you, yo, take a picture of me. You'll take it. She says she likes you. She'll turn around and take 30 herself because she thinks she's gonna do a better job. It goes all into believing in yourself and trusting yourself to own your craft, own your sport, own your skill. And if it wasn't for that, I honestly wouldn't be where I'm at. Like I said, I work with amazing guys, and girls, with 90% of the big projects I do, and it's just at the end of the day they all understand that it's all belief, and if they didn't believe in themselves and if I didn't believe in them, we all wouldn't be standing where we're standing today in this interview. You know what I mean? Like they are a big part. I'm gonna put them on camera because they don't like to be on camera, but I'm gonna put them on camera before we leave, and just to show them who they are and give them their credit, because I honestly couldn't be. I did forefront my path to get to where I'm at. I had a lot of help and a lot of people believe in me as yourselves, but then I also had a lot of support, and these guys were a very, very big part of that. So I'm very strong, very big. A lot of people get mad when someone's like, oh, there's so many photographers now, everybody's a producer, everybody's a DJ. Like they
build
get
the team around you.
They get bitter about the whole
Yeah.
situation. It's like, why are you bitter? Like you just might have found a soldier to help you grow, and you can help them grow, and you guys go back and forth because this person might see something you don't see or might hear something you don't hear, and it's just like when my friends get upgraded equipment, I'm like, about fucking time. I'm glad you fucking finally got it. You know what I mean? Like, good. Now that just means that all our work's gonna look that much better. You know what I mean? And it's just like, as I keep growing and building relationships on that, when I grow, they move up with me. That's what I'm saying. Graduation is a better word than me being like, oh, I'm better than them. Because not better than them. It's just we all got to take our steps.
And like you said with Gil, right? It's like it's important. Like build your team around you. There's people who helped you, inspire you, and put you on and help you get to that next level. And you're doing the same thing, which again, I believe in wholeheartedly, and I think that comes back in the work you do.
I mean, team, even someone like Braun, like he has his team with him 24/7. These people live for this man because that's what he needs and that's what they need in order for them to move as a unit and make the moves that they move. Those guys are playing chess. They're not playing checkers, and it's just hard work at the end of the day, man. Just work hard, and the right people notice, and the right people bring you on board. That's the
But
best
do
way.
something.
Exactly.
Like do something. Like do.
Don't wait
something to
around.
say.
Don't talk about what you want to do.
Perfect example. You guys never did TV. You guys got a fucking TV show.
Figuring it out as it goes along, man. Like,
And that's
we've
the best
never-
way.
And even we've never, and you know this, we called you. We're like, hey, we want to do this. Can we do this? How do we do it? But it's like, you know what? We'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get better at it. And I think that's the best advice. People always ask me. We're always like, just do something. Whatever your passion is, do it. Start a blog, a Tumblr, do whatever it is. So to your point, you know what? Get a camera, go shoot. Like just do something. Put stuff out in the air. So, you were gonna ask, or are we going directly into my favorite part of the show? What do we?
Let's go directly into your favorite part of the show.
Man. Just listen.
Do's and don'ts. Episode 8, do's and don'ts.
Episode 8, do's and don'ts.
Down here in Miami.
Don't shoot outside, very close to an airport where planes
Yeah.
are gonna fly by every 2 minutes. Don't do that.
Don't smoke a cigar and inhale
And then choke.
Wynwood dirt.
Almost don't die on camera.
Yes.
All right, so being as we have this talented,
Which we didn't even,
Gentlemen.
I'm impressed that we didn't even talk about it. I mean, something that the world might know him by more than anything else we've ever discussed is his work,
yes,
his photography work with copious amounts of young ladies around the globe.
yes, that's how I got put on to him. That's how
Right?
I got put on. Yes, that's how I got. Won't
I
say any
didn't.
names.
That's
So
fitting.
I've seen athletes meet him and be like, I won't say names, but athletes meet him and be like,
Oh, shit.
well, you introduce him, be like, hey, such and such is Derick G, and they're like, oh, hey, cool. Oh, wait,
Oh, shit.
Derick G. No, really, I'm a fan. Like I've seen it, and it's wild. Like so, it's a.
So, quick, tell us about that. Tell us about your work with.
Yeah, how'd you get into that? Like that's shit.
I mean, Miami. Like, you can't help but every corner you
So it was
look,
a product. It was just a product of your environment.
Exactly.
First and foremost.
It was something that needed to be handled, I guess. I mean, there was a ton. I mean, it's Miami. There's a ton of photographers down here even before I started, but it was one of those things where they didn't really see. I mean, you see bodies and whatnot, but I didn't see, like, I guess, a style that I was like really like, man, that shit's fly. Like, it was just like, oh, this is taking like really flawless pictures of this girl with a crazy body, and just I call that evidence. When something's so perfect, it's just proof that okay, you shot it, but it's like. A lot of it doesn't have feeling. A lot of it doesn't have, like, you look at some people's pictures and you feel the moment. Other pictures like, and that bitch is bad. And it's just you move forward. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just one of those things where I literally started with a point and shoot. You know, and funny enough, one of the first girls I ever shot with a point and shoot on DM saying like, yo, look what I just found, and it was like the original handwritten release of like me not doing anything with her images.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she said that, and I still have it on my DM. It's amazing. She's like, yo, look what I found, and I stayed really good friends with her throughout the years and whatnot. But it was just one of those things that, you know, when I got my camera and I was taking the pictures of the cars on set and whatnot, it's just like, what's another element that's in every music video? It's women. So I started meeting so many girls on set, and boom, 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 and they would see me with the cameras. Hey, how can I get those pictures? And you know, hey, I would like to eventually shoot you, and it turned into that network, and then eventually just the car started to dissipate, and the girls became a priority.
Which is a great segue into the do's and don'ts. So we're on the road. We're gonna cut it down a little bit. We're gonna do 3 do's and don'ts.
What's the topic?
And 3 do's and don'ts and Derick G is gonna take this over. So I mean, we'll jump in, but he's really gonna own this. The do's and don'ts of shooting females.
The 3 do's and don'ts of shooting females.
Yes, I can imagine that there's some
a couple of don'ts already.
Some rules, some unspoken, you know, 3 do's and don'ts. 3 major do's and don'ts for being on set, shooting. Because I hear a lot of people too, yo, you need somebody to help hold your cameras, like you need somebody to help edit files, carry your bags, and these are people who.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna since we do this, I'm gonna start it off. Okay. The first do, and I call bullshit if it's not true, but I'd imagine the first do would be professional.
Of course.
Right? Be professional.
For it.
You got all sorts of ass in front of you and all sorts of amazing, beautiful women. Be professional. Right? I'm guessing that, you know, just that can go all the way left, and that gets out
very
quickly.
Fast. And it's not a compliment in the sense of, you know, everyone thinks that it's, you know, everyone thinks it's just a big, you know, basically you're gonna who you're shooting, and it's not even the case. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where you got to be very careful. I do deal with a lot of flirtatious women, and you got to kind of walk on eggshells is the best term, because you don't know if they're playing around, you don't know if they're being serious, and it's always a safe bet to figure they're just playing around, because if you think they're not, if you think they're being serious and just kind of like they're throwing it at you, and then boom, you turn the corner and they were just fucking with you, and you jump on it or, you know, act on the action, and then it's like boom, like I know my work is good, but then at the end of the day she's gonna like, oh yeah, but he tried to
right.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good one. So the first do is be professional. The second do, the first do is be professional. The first don't is don't assume you're gonna.
Don't assume they're trying to give you the butt.
Exactly.
Right. Fair?
Don't step out of the proper mind frame.
There you go.
That's the best way to word it.
Okay. Love it. Second do. What's something that's kind of integral or very important to what you do? What's the second do?
Turn the heat down? Turn the air conditioner up? I mean, is that
we don't have heaters here, so.
I mean, do you pump the AC? Like, is there? Do regulate the climate? Depending on which way I don't know.
Which way? Up?
I don't know. I can't tell you that.
Do make the area comfortable.
Okay.
Make it as comfortable as possible. Do allow them to bring someone that's gonna make them feel comfortable, because the worst thing you don't want to do is tell them they need to come alone, because that's suspect.
That's weird.
That's just super suspect.
That's weird. Hey, come along.
You know what I mean?
Hey, we're gonna shoot. Make sure you don't bring anybody with you.
Yeah, and you know what? I get stories all the time from girls telling me like, yo, so and so, you know, and these are amazing photographers, but it's just like, and they forget that, yo, these women talk.
Yep.
And that shit spreads like cancer. You know what I mean? Like that shit spreads, and you gotta be careful. And you at the end of the day, if I was to be known as a creep or as a pervert thing, you think these bigger brands that I work with would
right.
want to work with someone that has that kind of title?
Right.
No. You think these big name athletes would want someone that's known as that to be around them? No. So
Third do.
No, so hold up. So we'd say second do is create a comfortable environment.
Yes.
Right? Second don't invite the homies. That's basically what you're saying. Like, don't invite the homies on set.
Oh yeah, you definitely
like, that's not
don't.
happening.
If they're on set, it's because they need to be there. You know what I mean? It came to the point where I have girls and they'll strip down naked in front of me because they're comfortable with me. But my guys are so professional as well that I'll have Jover, for example, that's filming this right now. He'll be in the same room with me and the girl butt ass thing, and she understands he's there to do his job the same way I'm there to do my job, and it's always, you know what I mean? It's just you always gotta have proper line of sight when you talk to them, look at them to their face and whatnot. You don't just want it to be there, yo. So yeah, you know. You know what I mean? Like,
So
yeah, you know, so
no doubt.
It's gotta be the proper setting and have proper ethics. You gotta understand, my money feels better than. And with that being said, you know, they get it. It's like, I'm here to do the same thing you are, which is create amazing content. You know, I want to create something that people are going to talk about, and because of that, I've been able to do things like the Baywatch, the In-N-Out photo, you know, the McDonald's, you know what I mean, the McDonald's Happy Meal piece, and it's just, they're thought out concepts that are just like, most guys just look at tits and ass. I thought of like, yo, this is gonna hit hard, and you know, I've hit it out the park with those three concepts, you know, alone.
Third do.
Third
and final do.
Third and final do. Yes, third and final do. Third and final do, essential to shooting women.
Do have fun doing it.
That
you know,
sounds really hard, Derick.
Yeah.
That sounds really.
I mean, just like I said, proper state of mind. Just going in with the right thought process and understanding that, you know, there's a lot on the line than just rejection. You know what I mean? There's a lot on the line than just rejection. You know what I mean? Like, going back to everyone I work with that's on the higher plateau, you know, I need to make sure that my name is as clean as my work is. And the don't is.
Third and last don't.
Third and last don't.
What's
don't
taboo? What's
don't
a
have
sin?
Jover stand in to practice poses and positions pre-shoot.
Third don't. If something does go down, don't talk about it.
Wow. So we're not. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. Okay, I'm just gonna assume. All right, man. Listen. So you, as we've talked throughout this whole show, busiest man I know, hardest working man in showbiz. You know, you always have not just one thing going on, but a bunch of things going on. What are you excited about? What do you have? What are you working on? What do you want? You know, you have a lot of fans watching this. You know, what do you have coming up that you're excited about?
2015 has a lot going on. There's a lot going on in 2015. Primarily the growth of me and my team.
Okay. Dope.
We have a lot. You know, I have a lot going on that I haven't even told them about. That, you know, I'm very excited for, because that means that we all graduate and we all grow. IAE.
What's the stand for?
I am expensive.
Very expensive.
Justin knows that.
I do know that.
He said, unfortunately, I do know. Okay,
You know, it's a lifestyle thing, and, you know, we've been doing little things here and there, and the right people know, like I always say. So, you know, eventually, if you figure it out, you'll be in the know, and, you know, I'm happy the way it's working out. And just, you know, more, I guess, I'll be speaking a lot more this year and kind of, you know, giving knowledge and influencing and whatnot this year, with just encouraging people to get out and do more and stop waiting around for an opportunity and go create one for yourself.
Create it, man.
love it. So,
great way to close.
Anyone out there that's watching and closing, how do they get in touch with you? How can they see your work? You know, where can they find you?
DerickG.com, DerickG.com, @Derick_G. That's it. I mean, that's pretty much the basis of everything. Everything I do goes on Instagram. You can Google me if you want.
Google, man.
You can go to images. You'll be happy.
Listen, you go to images. You can do that. You can Google him. You can go to images, but like just cancel the next 5 hours you had planned, whatever that is, just because. I mean, I've never done it. I've just heard that it works there. But my brother, thanks for being on, man. Appreciate you. Continued success. You're killing it.
Thank you,
brother.
brother.
To what we do together, and another one in the books.
Eight's in the books.
RWTW TV, episode 8
next
with
week.
this guy, Derick G.
Hopefully we'll be in Miami a lot more. We'll see.
Peace.
Peace.